Ready for another installment of our series, The Race to 270. Let's remember what happened 4 short years ago in 2020 when Joe Biden and Donald Trump faced off. The final tally, 306 electoral votes to 232. But of course, remember, with the census, with reapportionment, those numbers shifted a little bit. So if the race was rerun all over again and they won the same states, it'd be 303 to 235. With that math in mind, let's take a little bit of history here. All of the states in the Electoral College are what is known as winner-take-all states, where if you win the majority of the votes there, you get all of the electoral votes, with 2 very important exceptions, Maine and Nebraska. Now, Nebraska is where we're looking at those headlines out about Trump and his GOP allies trying to change Nebraska from a state that apportions its Electoral College votes by congressional district to one that is winner-take-all like the other 48 in the constitutional U.S. Now, what would that mean for the electoral math? Well, let's remember that Joe Biden pulled off a win in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district with 56% of the vote. He was the only candidate to split Nebraska's electoral votes, with the exception of his former boss, Barack Obama, back in 2008. Now, that win in that little tiny portion of Nebraska earned Joe Biden 1 electoral vote, which he was able to use in his overall tally back in 2020. So let's look at the math here and see how things could shake out in 2024. We're always looking at those battleground states like Arizona, that if Donald Trump flipped, the math would go to 292 to 246. Let's talk about Nevada, another state that could flip there in the Sun Belt. Math goes to 286 to 252. Now, let's look at one more state along that Sun Belt route, Georgia, a state that was very close in 2020 and led to Donald Trump being indicted to try and overturn those results. If he's able to overturn it this time at the ballot box in 2024, look at that, 270 to 268, meaning if we get rid of that little portion there of Nebraska, we have a 269 to 269 tie, a really weird constitutional quirk there of our system. So what would happen if there was a presidential tie? We would all be in hell. No, I'm just kidding. It would be even worse than that. A vote would happen in the United States House of Representatives to determine who the president is going to be. Each one of the states would have their own delegation to cast votes. They talk about it a lot in Hamilton. The election of 1800 was the only other one to end up in a tie. So I'll leave you to Lin-Manuel and send it back over to you, Olivia and Ben.
Radel,